Welcome back from that. I've been joined by my colleague from South Africa. He goes by the name Njabulo Ngidi. He's a sports news editor from Newsframe in South Africa. You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Is it your first time coming to Ghana?
It's my second time. The first time I was here was when Sundowns were playing in the Confed Cup against Midian.
Okay. So have you tasted our jollof yet?
Yes, I did, and I was told that this is the best jollof ever.
Yeah, you can never get in the world.
Yeah.
And the Nigerians are trying to battle like that. They can't. Let's come to business. You've been here because of the outcome. Have you been following the tournament in the whole? Your thoughts on the preparation so far? Do you think Ghana has done a great job hosting it?
I think it has, because leading up to the tournament, there were a lot of talks that this tournament might be taken away from Ghana due to the country not being prepared enough to host it. But what I've seen from being here, the country has really hosted a good spectacle. We've seen a number of fans who've come to the stadium. The Cape Coast, the vibe there has been quite amazing, and it's quite huge because the Ghana have been based in Accra. So to see so many people come out in their numbers and cheer their team, I think it was good, and everything has been free-flowing. I think Ghana has really done a good job in hosting this tournament.
I was about asking about the spectators. Do you think the crowd that comes in the stadium is enough for women's football?
I think it's not just a Ghanaian problem, but it's a countrywide problem, because it's rare where you find women's football anywhere where you find a sellout crowd. So I think it's something that would need to change through the drive, because I remember when we were walking down on Saturday, there was a kid who was asking, are the games today? If it was the men's AFCON, everyone would know. So I think more needs to be done to drive that here this tournament is happening, and so that people buy into it and they come not just to support the home team, but come and see the football spectacle.
Ghana is out of the tournament itself. I was asking myself, you guys have managed to kick us out. Who do you expect to come to the stadium to come and support? Ghana is out. Do you think it takes anything from the tournament?
I think it does. For any tournament to be a success, you need the host nation to do well and be there. Because when there's that patriotism, and when people have that buy-in, they come out in their numbers. So I think that's going to be dented a bit. But if people can be sold that, you look at the game that's going to be played in Accra, Cameroon and Nigeria, that's a big one. It's two, or probably it's the final before the final, and with the rivalry that Ghana and Nigeria has, maybe a lot of Ghanaians can come to support Cameroon.
But Cameroon also prevented us from qualifying to the next, so it's probably don't know who to support. Let's talk about South Africa. Prior to your tournament, you played Ghana and you guys lost twice. Do you think that lose had an effect on the team and changed your game plan?
Not necessarily. I think South Africa has been very well prepared for this tournament. I think the aim of that friendly was just to test the conditions and make sure that they're acclimatized to the weather, because when you look at how they've prepared, I think it's been extensive. They played in the COSAFA Cup where they faced Cameroon in the final and won. So the preparation has been very long, and that game, it wasn't so much about getting a result, but seeing the conditions and just to monitor how the team will be, because I think you sort of saw in the COSAFA Cup in Zimbabwe last year that this team is ready to be well beaters when they came back from 3-0 down to beat the host. So their performance this time around has been, I think that's where it started, and the belief that's where it was cemented that they can be the best in Africa.
I think you guys came prepared, because it's the only country that came with a video analysis, which is, let's come to how women football is treated in South Africa. Because it's a true reflection of what we are seeing at the AFCON. You guys play tremendously well and proves to be a squad that can probably go to the world and prove a point.
I think what helps is the Sasol League. Sasol, it's rare to find a company that sponsors women's league. So when Sasol came on board to sponsor not only the league but the senior women's team, it helped the association by elevating some of the monies that they'd have to spend. So I think the Sasol League is a semi-professional league, and there's a lot of players who come through those ranks and they get to, so that when they get into the national team, they're a bit ready. And I think also what has helped is that we've got a number of players who are now playing abroad. Tembi Khatlan, who's the top goal scorer, is playing in the US. There's also Linda, Janine. We've got two players who are playing in Australia. There was one who's playing in the US, also in the US. So I think that has helped because of what they come with. They come with an edge, and because the league at the moment is still an amateur league back home, so there isn't that much experience in terms of how to play international football. So with that experience, I think that helps.
It helps. Let's look at the South African team in this tournament. You guys beat the the tournament winners. I call them the Nigerians. It's obvious. It's DS when it comes to men winning 9 times. You guys managed to beat them. At that moment that South Africa managed to beat Nigeria, what was the feeling like in South Africa?
It was tremendous. I mean, Nigeria have tormented South Africa, not just the women's team, but the men's team. So to finally beat them, because this was the second time that Banyana beat Nigeria, it was big because, I mean, a lot of people were expecting that, okay, we're going to lose this game and then win the other 2 games and finish second. But I think the biggest change is that there's a whole lot of self-belief in the team. I mean, there's that we can beat the best in the world. I mean, you look at how they played against Equatorial Guinea. You saw that it was a weak team that they could do as they please. But there wasn't any point where they just dropped their guards and like, okay, we've got this covered. They still went and wanted to score more than the 7 that they managed. So I think mentally, our players are very strong, and I think that's the biggest plus, and that's what I think will help them to win this tournament.
Is South Africa winning the tournament after beating
obviously. I think it's not just the fact that they beat Nigeria, it's the fact that they won this tournament. I mean, South Africa, with all the good that has happened and all they've done well in this tournament, they've never won it. I mean, they've lost in the final twice to Equatorial Guinea. So there is that huge drive to win this, and the players have been promised, I think, 120,000 each if they win this tournament, and it's there's money, there's winning the tournament, and there's also going to the World Cup in France. So there's a lot of motivation.
I think personally, South Africa had that relationship. You saw what happened in the under-17 when they were kicked out. They were supporting Ghana, so probably you guys will get the Ghanaians to come and support you. For Nigeria to win, then we all pray that South Africa will win. Because
we've always been friends. I mean, you remember even in the 2010 World Cup, when South Africa got knocked out, South Africans backed Ghana up until Suarez did what he did.
So we are just hoping that South Africa wins, and probably we will celebrate and jubilate with you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure. Guys, it is already up to bring it to an end. My name is Delali Frank. The news still continues.